Before we start, I'd like to say two things. One, we have some people recording, so to make sure the audio's good, you can laugh, refrain from talking, and pay attention.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Aiden.
Also, Mr. Zhang has said that I'm one of the most immature people he's ever met, and I think that's reflected in this presentation. Okay.
I agree with that.
Go.
Gonorrhea!
AKA the clap.
By Shabam, Justin, Clever, and Nick. Gonorrhea is an STI that gives inflammatory discharge from the vagina and the urethra.
Gatorade Zero.
Of that kind. This STI is very common in teenagers and people within the mid-20s. The most common way of getting gonorrhea is from unprotected sex, like vaginal sex, oral sex, and anal sex. You can also get it from touching your eye with infected liquids on your hands. It can be spread genetically, and it can also be carried through bodily fluids, through discharge, through like your urethra and stuff like that, right? It can affect your penis, your vagina, your anus. Oh, we're getting what do you mean?
All right, just continue.
Okay, so now some symptoms of gonorrhea. Now, some men who have gonorrhea experience no symptoms at all. However, if you do have symptoms, they can be like such as burning or urinating, and painful or swollen testicles, which is rare.
All right, fellas, we've all been there. All right, bless up.
Now,
Bro, we're still talking.
Clever, you're horrible.
You're so bad.
Now, symptoms that women have can often be mistaken for vaginal or bladder infection. Now, gonorrhea symptoms, so if you're a woman and you have gonorrhea symptoms, they can be vaginal bleeding between periods and increased vaginal discharge.
All right, all you single ladies, we've all been there. All right.
Rectal infections may or may not cause symptoms, but if you do have a rectal infection, some symptoms that occur in both men and women include anal itching, soreness, and bleeding. Next.
All right. How can you reduce the risk of getting gonorrhea? Do not have anal, vaginal, or oral sex.
That is true.
Because that is how it is transmitted. Yes, that is true. And if you're sexually active, and you want to, continue being sexually active, but you do not want gonorrhea, some ways you can do it is using latex condoms the right way each and every time you have sex or intercourse. And, that homemade stuff ain't going to cut it. You got to use the real thing. Now, make sure that if you're going to have intercourse, make sure your partner has been tested and they test negative for STDs or STIs. And also, abstinence is the way, all right? Abstinence equals no sex equals no gonorrhea.
But you ain't about that life, right, folks?
Can you cure it? Gonorrhea is curable by antibiotics, but only if you take them right away. If you don't treat it early enough, you can get more serious health problems. And the medication cannot undo those serious health problems.
So, after you've had gonorrhea, and after you've been cured, you're going to want to worry. You're going to have to wait about 7 days before you can start up again. So, and to avoid getting gonorrhea again, you want to make sure that your new partner or the same partner has gone negative, or at least gone through their phases. If after you're done with your medications and stuff, you can still get infected again. So don't think that you're completely cured after you've had gonorrhea the first time. So what would happen if you're not treated? There's a series of very problematic problems in men and in women. If you're a woman, okay, ladies, you can get something called PID, which is pelvic inflammatory disease, and this is create a lot of complications for you. So if you want to become a mother, infertility becomes a problem, and long-term pelvic pain, which is worse than period cramps. And pregnancy outside the womb is also a problem. In men, in men, sometimes tubes can attach to your testicles, which make it bad from becoming a father. So you won't be able to supply your ladies.
That shouldn't happen to me like 50.
And untreated gonorrhea can also lead to HIV, which leads to AIDS.
Yo!
Freddie Mercury.
Okay, now time for our story. You can see that this is Jacob and that's Dylan.
Alright, this is John, and that's his friend who nicknamed him John with God.
Right. So there's a man named John, Jacob, who had gonorrhea. His friends knew about this, so they nicknamed him John with Gone. That's the friend who came up with the nickname. Now deep down, John was hurt by this nickname, but he knew that he wanted to have sex, right? So basically, he was currently on his medications for gonorrhea, and he waited until his treatment was completely done. And when he got the fantastic news that he was gonorrhea free, he decided to have some sex as a celebration.
Yes, however, John realized that he made a mistake when after the intercourse had been completed, the woman asked him for $50, and then he realized he was on the bad side of town.
Right? But now this only happened one day after he got cured of gonorrhea, right? But John said that was fine because he's a sex addict who hadn't had sex in a long time, right? So that leads us to our question.
That leads us to our question.
That leads to our question, right? Here's the question. Was having sex the right thing to do right after he got cured? Why or why not? No!
He should have waited. He should have waited at least 7 days because that is the recommended amount of time that you should wait before having sex again after you complete the gonorrhea treatment process. All right. Next. Thank you for listening.
Oh, wait, we're not done. We're not
We're
done.
not done. We're not done.
Another thing, as we said before, John messed up because he went to this random woman, really, and he should have gone with a long-term partner instead. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Salute, salute.
This has been gonorrhea. And I'd like to thank you for your time and for paying attention. I hope you guys walked away learning something important about gonorrhea. And that it matters. And that you should try your best to avoid it. And also...